Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anuli. Today, I'm gonna introduce about the country I live in. It's the Republic of Singapore. Singapore is a vibrant, diverse city-state located in Southeast Asia. It is known for its modern architecture, delicious cuisine, diverse cultures, and tropical climate. With its modern infrastructure, top-notch safety records, and vibrant culture, Singapore is truly a great city to explore. Where is Singapore? Singapore, officially the Republic of Singapore, is an island country and city-state in maritime South Asia. Our population consists of four main ethnic groups, and most of them are Chinese. As you can see here, 75.9% of Singaporean citizens are Chinese ethnic. 15.4% of them are Malay, 7.4% of them are Indian, and 1.6% of them are other ethnic groups that I can mention one by one. Other information about this country. The literacy rate in Singapore are 97.13%. Our life expectancy is expected to be 83 years old. Our Human Development Index or HDI score are 0.949. Our military rank are 30th the largest in the world. Our GDP per capita are more than 88,000 US dollars, and our GDP per capita rank are 5th the largest in the world. The history. The first part of our Singapore history is the Malaccan Empire, because Singapore is used to be the part of Malaccan Empire, but around 19th centuries, colonial nations like Portuguese and British stepped their foot on Singapore, and the Treaty of Singapore were made. Where Thomas Stamford Raffles made an agreement with Tengku to recognize him as Sultan of Johor, giving him the title Sultan Hussein, and provide him with a yearly payment of $5,000 and $3,000 for the Flamengo. In return, Sultan Hussein would grant the British the right to establish a trading post on Singapore. But in 1941, the World War II in the Pacific part broke out, and the Japanese Empire is aiming to take control of Southeast Asia, including Singapore. British are sending their fleets and their army to defend the Singapore free port, because Singapore free port are pretty vital for their economy. But at 8 December 1941, Japanese forces landed in Kota Baru, and just in 2 days after invasion, most of British fleet are sunk by the Japanese bomber and torpedo bomber. And at the end, Lieutenant General Arthur Percival surrendered the Allied force in Singapore to General Tomoyuki Yamashita of the Imperial Japanese Army on Chinese New Year, 15 February 1942. But after Japanese surrender to the Allies on 15 August, because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki nuclear bomb, Singapore fell into a brief state of violence and disorder. Looting and revenge killing were widespread. British troops led by Lord Louis Mountbatten, Supreme Allied Commander for the Southeast Asia Command, returned to Singapore to receive the formal surrender of Japanese forces in the region of General Ikaigaki Seishiro on behalf of General Hisaishi Terauchi on 12 September 1945. But even after the surrender, Singapore is not being independent yet. And the failure of Britain to defend Singapore had destroyed its credibility as an infallible ruler in the eyes of Singaporeans. The decades after the war saw a political awakening amongst the local populace, and the rise of anti-colonial and nationalist sentiments epitomized by the slogan Merdeka or Independence. In 16 September 1963, Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, and Sarawak were merged, and Malaysia was formed. But The racial tension increased as ethnic Chinese and other Malay ethnic groups in Singapore rejected the discriminatory policies imposed by the Malays.
Sorry to interrupt, one more minute.
Um, so seeing no alternative, on 9th August 1965, the Singapore gained its independence. Singapore key sectors. The first one is banking. Singapore is considered a global financial hub by many leading financial analysts, economists, and politicians, with Singapore banks offering world-class corporate bank account facilities. Second one is biotechnology. Singapore has been aggressively developing its biotechnology industry. Hundreds of millions of dollars were invested into the sector to develop infrastructure, fund research and development, and recruit top international scientists to Singapore. And lastly, energy and infrastructure. Singapore is the pricing center and leading oil trading hub in Asia. The oil industry makes up 5% of Singapore's GDP, with Singapore being one of the top 3 export refining centers in the world. That's all from me. Thank you.